Let's run with it. All right, Derek Lee, Brain Health Formulas. We're going to run with the ball right here for sure. I love these conversations, so I don't want to hear myself talk, but I love what you say. But let's talk about amino acids and what do they do? And I know that's part of the beautiful thing in the Brain Health Formulas that you personally designed. What do they do? How do they impact our brain and body function? And how does yours differ?
So something like L-arginine. That's a big one. It helps with nitric oxide production.
Okay.
So that's a single formula. That's a single amino acid. That's a base amino acid, L-arginine.
Oh, okay.
So that's a single component. That's one single chain. If we absorb it, we utilize it. If we can't, we just discard it. So something like L-carnitine is two amino acids bonded to form a single amino acid. So it's L-carnitine is lysine and methanione.
Okay.
And they combine to make L-carnitine.
So how does this impact, I get this, you're talking about the science now.
Yeah.
What does that mean to me and us and how it impacts our brain health or even our human health?
It's just explaining that a single, what's considered to be like L-carnitine is still considered to be a single amino acid, but it's actually two amino acids that are bonded together. When something is bonded together like that, it forms a specific focus.
Oh, got it. Okay.
And so something like my amino acid complex, it's over 500 chains long.
Whoa.
So that means instead of it being a focus like something like L-carnitine, which is kind of a challenge for humans to absorb and utilize, the amino acid complex, the longer chains it is, the more it becomes more of a messaging. It's more of a communication device versus a single free-form amino acid that if you can absorb it and utilize it, great. If you can't, it just gets discarded. So when you get into longer chains, it becomes a messaging and communication device.
Between the mind and the body? Is that
to be either, depending on the chain, it either can be utilized in the body or it can be utilized as communication to the brain itself.
Well, so with that 500 length of chain, so to speak, so I'm just kind of walking through that a little bit, it can help a respective part of that whatever function in your
That's
body,
right.
And you have gone, oh, this one for here will work here. If this chain goes here, this reacts there?
More or less. And so what I did is I had to develop this chain to repair my brain.
Okay, yes.
Because I was on death's door.
Yes, yes.
And so what I recognize is that I don't know where specifically it's affecting in the brain. So what I recognize, what I know for certain, is it's working on the hypothalamus. And if we can have any effect on the hypothalamus, we can have benefit anything in the body or the brain, because hypothalamus is key to all function of human.
Yes, yes, I get that. I know I'm going to do that in my Tonight Story, and I love that idea because that is as opposed to the prefrontal cortex, which is different, right? So you're talking about a formula that actually starting to work in these specific areas. And I have a friend who's been diagnosed with MS, and now we're going into a wheelchair now, and things are just sort of changing. I probably should have brought this up earlier, but before we go, I want to know how people can reach out to you personally, and is this something that would help somebody who are already in those further stages?
Yes, I believe that MS is, so science has been working on brain disease, brain disorders for Alzheimer's, arguably the first one, to my knowledge. I haven't dug into all of them, but Alzheimer's and dementia, I believe was found in like 1904 or something like that, 1906 somewhere. So it's over 100 years. Yeah. Science and medicine still have no answers for it.
Yep, yep.
And so what I started looking at is, well, what is the cause? So if science and medicine think that plaque buildup in the brain itself is a cause, that could be a dysfunction of enzyme production in the brain itself.
That's it. That's where we went. All right. Next time, promise, we're going to get off on the enzyme conversation because I know that is a big component and how you now have created this sense of balance with the enzymes and the chemistry. Thank you, Derek Lee, right there. Brain Health Formula. I feel like Derek Lee, right there. Everybody, thank you for coming in. I really appreciate our talks.
Thank you, Sean.
They're never long enough. And thank you for keep coming back and appreciate what you do.